Alright, guys, welcome to second episode of EKKOCAST. So, essentially, we just recorded our first one with Shane Smith from Stack 3D, and we have the second one with the OG home team. What's left, essentially. The team was a little bit bigger, but he's saying, he almost left for great value, but we got him back just to keep the home team intact. So, yeah, on my right, we have Baxter Hosley.
Hello. Hi, guys.
On my left, we have Project Bass, Mr. Bass. I'm just kidding. Noah Mason.
It's going.
So, as usual, we don't have, an agenda or a structured cast for you guys. So, we're basically, I think what I'm envisioning is just talk to you guys about sort of how Ekko started, just in case some of you guys might be our new audience. And of course, some of you guys may know, you guys have seen Baxter and Noah since the very beginning of Ekko. So let me kind of give you guys a little bit of timeline. So we started Ekko, of course, in April 15th is when we went live, and I met Noah through TikTok. So just kind of have him kind of talk through the little journey of how he became part of Ekko, if you don't mind.
Yeah, absolutely. So I signed up to be an affiliate for the first ever Echovision drop, like before the pre came out. Found them just like on my For You page talking about supplements. It was like everyone who was in the fitness industry, there was like a month where Em was just constantly on the For You page talking about pre-workout. And I think that's where a lot of us like first found him. And through that, we just started joining his lives, stuff like that. And at this point I had like less than 1,000 followers on TikTok when we were first talking. And then so we met on the weekend before the 2.1 drop. Me and my friend drove down to New Jersey to lift at a dose.
Came back, yeah.
And then while we were there, he invited me back for the next weekend, which was the
actual first ever meet.
Yeah, first meet. Which, I had no place being there, but out of the kindness of his heart, he just invited me back. And
the concept is right time at the right, I guess, place, and it was genuinely like the perfect timing and everything. It was literally, and then it's coincidentally that was like the first meet when we actually physically met, also like in real life.
So it was, for me, it was a little bit different. It was just I was like already posting content. I already had a following before I met M. So
One of the fans, Supplement God.
Yeah. It was one of Echovision's fans actually came into my live. I was live on TikTok, and he was like, he was talking about M. Have you heard of like him, and he's making a pre? You should try it. I was like, oh, that's dope. And then I was like, the funny story about that though is his nephew DM'd me on Instagram probably maybe 2 or 3 weeks before this, and I didn't know it was M. I didn't know he was M's nephew, and he was like, my uncle's making a pre-workout, man. You want to try it? I was like, no, I don't want, I don't want someone random just sending me some powder. So I politely declined. But then later on, I linked it up, and it was actually M's nephew that hit me up. So that was kind of funny. So back to how I met M. He was in my live. He connected with me, and
so the first launch, and we got on a call, and immediately it was like a connection. I was like, literally just genuinely like one of the most humblest guy I've ever met. It was, again, mind you, his account was like extremely big. The way he treated me on that call alone was just like, another person. I did not notice any sort of like, it was just like one of the most wholesome call I've ever had. Like, I'm not kidding. I remember I was working out, and we got on a call, and I was like, back of the gym, just like talking to him for like literally 30 minutes. And he was like, dude, if you ever need, I know he was with Inaka Supplement back then, and I was like, dude, if you ever need any sort of help with anything, just literally one call away. And so I was like, dude, like we have this little meet coming up, if we'd be able to like come in. So we bought a flight. What happened?
So what happened was he invited me to the meet. He booked a flight. So I lived in upstate New York. He lived in New Jersey. I booked a flight. It's probably like an hour flight. It's not that far.
Mind you, I was broke back then.
Yeah, right? He wasn't balling back then.
I'm not balling either right now either, but it's just like I was broke. Put it all on my credit card, okay?
So yeah, he bought me. He was out of his kindness of his heart. He bought me.
How much was it, bro? $600.
It was a decently priced flight, and I missed the flight.
Why?
But
Why did you miss it?
I don't even remember why.
You didn't check in, bro.
Oh yeah, I didn't check because I never like that was my first flight. That I don't know. Besides that, I missed the flight, but then I was like, nah, I'm still going. So I had a beater. I had a '08 Chevy Trailblazer that damn near 300,000 miles. I drove from upstate New York down to New Jersey. I don't know how I made it, but we made it happen. And I don't know why I did that. I don't know why I thought it was so important. Probably, you know what? I know why it was that important because it was that call. Like I knew, like you were such a like he's saying that I was the most genuine dude. This dude, like I could tell this man had drive. I could tell this man like was the nicest person ever. So I was like, I'm making that drive, and that was probably one of the best decisions I've ever made in my entire life. Like literally, if I did not make that drive, I don't think I would be sitting at this table today. I don't think
so many things wouldn't have happened. So many, like genuinely, that one call. I think we went enough time for like freaking 30-minute plus, and it was so organic. I'm not kidding. A phone call, a single phone call could have so much impact, and it was like at that time on that meet, I was really, really hoping that he would join. And again, Inaka is such a beautiful brand, huge brand, way bigger than I could ever be. And I was like, but another thing though, I will say this: when they were teasing their pre-workout, I was like, they are gonna take down every single company. The way they came up with those videos, animation, beautiful. I was like, holy crap! I was so hyped. And then I saw the formula. I'm like, bro, relax. Give me a shot.
This is one thing. So I was sponsored by Anaka. I was on clothing supplement, or I was on the clothing part of Anaka, and they didn't have supplements yet. They were coming out with supplements, and I was like, oh snap! Like I obviously like now I'm gonna have a supplements sponsorship. It's gonna be easy. Like I'm gonna be able to it's clothing. It's linked. It's like I'm not gonna have to push two different companies. It's the same exact company. I'm like, oh sweet. So the supplement came out. They dropped the formula. The pre-workout's like $100. You have to buy the pump and the pre. It's $100. I'm like, bro, what is this? So they literally didn't tell us. They didn't tell any of the athletes, like the formula, none of that. It drops and it's like complete dog shit. And I'm like, okay. So I'm pretty much stuck there. I can't even push the pre from my heart. So I'm like, that was just another huge reason that obviously I could just join Echovision. It's just I'm pushing an actual good product. Like I hate. That's one thing I hate is pushing shit that's ass. Like I've never done that in my life. I've never pushed something that I don't genuinely back.
Let me do a product placement on this case. So when he says like he doesn't push stuff that is not comfortable, I genuinely, one of the reasons why I try to have them approve over my opinion in every product is that they need to be able to like it enough to organically push, because people can tell if you're like, all right, if you're just pushing for,
you can clearly tell if someone's pushing something out of their ass.
When they say that the material is good and like that they're like comfortable, that's when I'm like, oh my gosh, we have done it. I'd rather like, with Backshot, it took us like 8 different iterations. The
it
was like 8 different iterations before we got a firm yes from him. So it's like, you really like, as a obviously probably no brand owner is watching this, but if you are a brand owner or if you're starting, dude, you really need to produce products that if you're expecting your athletes to actually probably push, they are the key.
Like coming from my perspective, if you push something that is not like worthy of being pushed, say a fan or like say a supporter gets it.
Yeah.
Like, what is that going to do? They're going to get they're not going to like the quality of the product. They're never going to purchase from you again. Like, what is the point? What is the point of dropping something that is like half-ass? Like that doesn't. It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any logical sense.
Initially, if you can, please don't prioritize the profit. I understand you need profit to grow, but for the love of God, that's like such a wrong way to go about it. Why would anybody give you as a new brand owner or a new guy in the street when they have like other brands that are much more reliable, that has already all the logistics and every reputation figured out? You have to really ask yourself, do you really want to just exist, or do you want to make an impression? So for the love of God, please keep your profits on the side a little bit and get into producing an actually good product, whether it's anything really. Genuinely, please give it a little bit, make that the priority. I want to focus to Noah. So like we, how like I want to kind of like give you. He's been with Ekko very, very close. Like when I say like genuinely, obviously they lived in the Ekko house, but like he's seen like the back end stuff more than anybody else at this point. Like genuinely, it's like me and all the back end stuff is like he's the second guy. He's literally like essentially the logistic manager right now, and also designing clothing for us. I just want to kind of like, you know, if you could tell the guys kind of like your journey, because I don't think people understood, because like you know, we went from an affiliate to become probably one of our biggest assets, you know, along with Joel and of course Baxter. And, you know, if you could maybe like.
Yeah, absolutely. So, right before I was going back to school in the fall of last year, or I guess a year and a half ago now, Em called me up. I made a video talking about how I was going to drop out of school. There was a whole bunch of stuff that went into that, but Em essentially called me the day before I was supposed to sign up for classes again, and told me that I should come work for him in New Jersey. And literally that day, I dropped to part-time at the college I was at, and I was spending 2 nights a week in college, and then driving down 4.5 hours.
Yeah, it was like
New
4 hours
Jersey.
every week. Literally, that's the thing. Like you also drove like 4 hours, I think.
Yeah, it was like
upstate New York.
Yeah, it was 4 hours.
So that's the thing with the journey, dude. Like he literally was. I could see the dedication. At that point, I had no idea how I was going to utilize him. Like actually, I sort of got every day. I was like stressing out. I'm like, how am I going to do this? Because I just asked him to leave. So now I have to like, you know, take care of my part of the bargain. And I was like trying to figure out how I could utilize him, because at that time I already had like a little team already. So I'm like, how much do I even pay him? I think I offered him to pay like just his gas fee at that point, and like covering his gas, and come to my house. I had no plan whatsoever. I was like genuinely had no clue. I'm like, we'll figure something out. And it's like,
it basically started out, we were just packing orders.
yeah.
And then it evolved into like, I was helping with the media, like taking pictures, stuff like that. And then it pretty much, the biggest change happened when we moved to Texas. So before then, I was just sleeping in his basement, helping take pictures and packing orders. And then when we moved to Houston, packing orders, like the volume of orders going out was increasing.
I think at some point we were doing like $300,000 worth of month orders, and it was literally just him and I shipping out every single one of those orders. Literally, like it was just him and I going in, packing the orders, getting it out. And one of the greatest things is like the flexibility that he allowed Ekko to have. He's just like, he would, let's say if we need somebody, like USPS wouldn't come in to pick up on time. So he's like making sure, he's like, you go in, I'll stay here for the drop off. So like USPS, let's say they come in 2-3 hours later, he's there making sure that they picked it up. Occasionally, even after like 5-6 o'clock, they don't come in to pick it up. And like, at that point we're like, man, they weren't picking it up. I'm like, we need a card. So we ultimately got the Ekko card at some point, and then we were using that to like drop off. And then at one point he was like, I can like bring in the SDB. So he drives the CRB. So he's like, I can use that for Ekko if you need. And I'm like, yes, please. Like that would help us so much. So we have 2 cars to drop off the packages. And it was just like literally from himself. Never, like I didn't even ask. Do you understand? So that there's a difference between treating it as not just like, okay, I'm getting paid to do this, I'm like do the bare minimum, versus like he's going out of the way on a regular basis. Just, I don't know. It was incredible from my perspective, at least.
I mean, I honestly just love this company. Like, when I had the option to get out of, so I was like, not in the best situation when I was in college, and getting out of that, like this was like the perfect opportunity for me. I knew that after college I wanted to work in the fitness industry. I love pre-workout. I was mixing my own pre-workout at the time with just raw ingredients, and it was just like the perfect company and the perfect timing. And I wouldn't want it any other way. It's I get to be a sponsored athlete for the company that I got to.
Matt, do you have your tub of Project Mass
coming up from the beginning?
The Project Mass tub. Can I borrow it real quick? So fast forward, he also not only was helping with the logistic, he started to like go live every single day, and like just kind of like asking everybody else, especially like someone like Bax, Noah Stevenson, these guys, how to like get the community involved and build such a huge audience. Like he had like I think 1,000 followers on Insta, and he was getting 200 likes. I was like, what is that conversion rate? That's like 20% on, that's likes, not reach. Like you have to understand, 1,000 followers, 200 likes on the product, and you know for a fact at that point he has a community. So I was like, we started to introduce signature product, and then this is how I was like, dude, I am so grateful, and if I can do in any way. Project Mask came in, sold out the first batch, second batch, third batch, second flavor, and now let me just officially announce it here. We are working on Project Mask version 2. Mark my word when I say this, you are about to be shocked with our flavors and our formulas. It is going to be the next phase of Ekko, and interestingly enough, Backshot 2.0.
Backshot 2.0. Fun fact, that's actually my favorite pre-workout right now.
Yeah.
That's been my favorite pre-workout since it dropped.
How do you like the flavors? Like the new flavors?
Oh, of Project.
The
new. Can we
Yeah,
talk?
let's just actually
Okay.
We can go ahead.
Yeah. The new flavors that are coming out for like the 2.0 versions of mine and his are crazy, like crazy, insane. If you guys had Backshots 1.0,
so you guys seen on OB Mix we introduced nitrate, and these formulas, if you thought this formula was stacked for pretty much the same price, we're going to aim for the same price. I need to see my landed cost first, but I'm going to aim for the same price, same serving, but the formula is way more stacked than this is. Same thing with Backshot, and Joel's Outcast is going to be called Optimal, and these formulas are absolutely incredible. And again, this is the thing with like I was learning on how to like formulate better, what ingredient costs cheaper, so we can like go in, utilize it better. So again, it's like allocating our money. So we have a budget because we already know, okay, we can sell Outcast at, let's say, 30 servings at $60, right? We already know our market in that sense. Now, so essentially our cost can be like around that $30. How stacked can I make it at $30 for those servings? And and then that's what we did with like, essentially we spoke to, we actually got some help with our formulation for the first time ever. And like, I cannot wait. Again, I was not planning on revealing it. This is the thing with Ekko. This feels like the right time to. This is why we actually held off on releasing his signature protein, the chocolate mint, even though we have it on hand, because we want to release them together. And his label work is almost done. So mark my word, there's a reason why we've been losing sleeps, Ekko clothing, and all these new projects. Of course, energy drink, bro.
Oh, the energy drink is gonna be. Oh man, there's big things coming.
Getting the first sample this week.
Yeah, so we're expecting to get a new sample, first ever iteration sample this week. Hopefully everything will go right. Hopefully there's not gonna be delay. Again, the process is gonna be signature. So the way I'm gonna go about it, you guys know we have Ekko clothing, we have Ekko supplements. So someone like Bax is essentially a full-blown Ekko athlete. What it means is he's with Ekko clothing and supplements. And to show my gratitude, and the fact that he's also like, he's literally our second top seller. In addition to like everything that we're producing, the way he markets is so organic. So it just makes sense to do a collaboration rather than just having an Ekko energy drink. I genuinely, when I do not need anything for Ekko product, I would love to get my athletes involved. And again, it's just the idea is they are essentially the face and the voice of Ekko. Like my boy Steven started to get like a lot of hate, and I'm like, so I saw a comment like, I feel like you're doing a little too much with this response. There's like some comments. I'm like, no, it's not some comments. You guys are literally you're saying it's not Echovision. This is not how Echovision should be. Like no. You misunderstood what Ekko is. Like you're literally making fun of the foundation of Ekko, which is, let's say in this case Steven, and like you're gonna act like I'm not gonna react. No. I'm gonna chop down Steven to your throats. Watch. Hit a boy, and like you're making a hateful comments, and then you follow me. What?
Yeah.
You consume our products. Ekko is a privilege. Sorry, I'm getting similar. Like no, you don't do that. You do not. And I just thought, this is Echovision. I hope you guys realize this. This is literally what Echovision is, and I plan to keep it that way. If you don't like it, again, it sucks. We're probably out of business.
Hey, if they don't like it, there's a lot of other companies that they can go to.
No, if they don't like it, we're gonna go out of business tomorrow.
That's true.
Yeah. No. Again, we want to keep you guys full, for too long. But again, that's kind of like the future of Ekko. I do want to ask, like, what do you guys think about Ekko's future in terms of like, are we moving to the right direction? Because that's where I stress out about every day. Genuinely, like, work.
9 months ago, we were out of your basement still, like
actually
shipping products out of your garage.
Literally before we hopped on, we were like, bro, a year ago, We were literally chilling in your house.
The basement wasn't even finished. It was like,
Literally.
it was like
This man, one thing about M, this man is always stressing, but everything works out all the time. He's like, oh, I don't know. I think the company's going under, bro. The company's going under. And then next month we have $1 million revenue month.
Yeah,
This
and it's funny because we're still consistently keeping up with that, even though this is like the slow season. And mark my word, next year we're gonna aim for 1.5. I'm aiming for 1.5.
In a month?
I'm aiming for the November is because the way I planned the drop.
Oh, you mean next month, not next year?
Next month there's a possibility we should at least hit 1.25.
1.5.
That's direct to consumer only.
November is gonna be.
But next year though, our goal is to get to 1.5. Again, you can't just like say like we the amount of projects we have planned and everything. For the first time ever, I'm actually gonna be taking loan out, just so I don't hinder any growth on supplement and the energy drink, because I want to keep those cash as is. But loan is gonna be taken out for Ekko clothing, because what I'm learning is you have to have enough fund to run for 4 months, because proper manufacture takes like 2 to 4 months to properly deliver everything on time and everything's good to go. Plus, this is why we actually have the studio. We want to market it properly. We want to get the parts on hand for the first time, because the first 1.0, we didn't have it on hand for like 45 days. Then we started delivering after we took your money 45 days earlier. We just can't run business like that. So now we're just, we're at a different stage of Ekko. But yeah, what do you think? Like, are we gonna go out of business or no?
We're probably going out of business. I'm not gonna lie.
All right, boys, we're gonna go out of business. I love you guys. If you guys made it to this far, for now, peace and feast.